What's up everyone, D-Crack here, about to react to another video for you guys. First of all, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Hope you have a great day, eat a lot of turkey, take a nap, do whatever you want. But I gotta go to my grandma's here for Thanksgiving in a little bit. That's why I'm kind of dressed up. But I was going to try to do a video for you guys first so I can drop it later when I get home. Kind of a time warp, if that makes sense. But yeah, guys, we're going to check out 4 freaky true Thanksgiving / Black Friday horror stories. It's by Mr. Nightmare. I think this video is about a year old. He dropped it last year, but I've never checked it out. I thought Mr. Nightmare might have like a new video. He might drop it later today, but I'm just going to go ahead and react to this one for now. And maybe if he drops a new video, react to that one too. Maybe drop that one tomorrow. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and check out these freaky Thanksgiving Black Friday stories.
Number 4. Me and the girlfriend were on our way to her parents' house. I was invited to Thanksgiving dinner with them, which was a huge honor for me since I'd only met her parents 3 times. I was also nervous since her grandparents and aunts and uncles would also be there who I had never met. We had a long trek from my house to her parents' house. It would be a good hour-long drive. About 45 minutes into the drive, we had to stop for gas. We pulled up into a literally dead Gulf station right off the highway, and I decided to fill up with premium for once to do my car a favor. Of course, it was cheaper to pay with cash, so I went inside with my head down as I dug my hand inside my wallet searching for a 10 and a 20, and when I pulled the bills out, I instinctively looked up and said, 30 on 2 please. But I stopped mid-sentence. There was no one there. I looked for a bell on the counter. None. I simply called out, anyone there? There wasn't even a back door behind the counter that you would assume would lead to some kind of employees-only room.
That's weird.
No, it was just completely empty. The only other door in this little gas station besides the entrance was the single bathroom, and that door was open, exposing the blackness from within the bathroom. I figured maybe whoever was manning the cash register may have just gone outside for something. I walked back outside and shrugged my shoulders at my girlfriend.
Maybe went out for a smoke or something?
I looked around for maybe a porta potty or an ice machine or something that could be distracting a potential cashier, but there was nothing. It was a relatively small little station with foliage surrounding it in almost all directions. I figured maybe somebody could be behind the building smoking a bogey or a doobie, so I went back there as a final attempt. Nope, just a dumpster sitting under a dimly lit roof light. Ugh, I figured I'd just pay credit at
Where's
this
the
point and
employees?
turn back. But as I did, somebody from out in the woods called over to me in a kind of whispery yell. My heart skipped a beat when I heard this.
What?
Hey! Hey! I kept hearing it from the woods. I took out my phone and flipped on the flashlight just to skim the outer tree line for anybody who could be hiding in there. As my now shaking hand rotated the phone slowly, the light momentarily revealed somebody from behind a tree. I took off back to the car and stepped on it out of there. My girlfriend was scared shitless just in reaction to my fear. I told her about the bizarre thing that just happened, and from that point on, she kept looking through the rearview mirrors just to make sure we weren't being followed. We pulled up to the next gas station we could find, this time one that actually had a cashier. I paid him $30 and began filling up. A van pulled up to the pump right behind mine,
What?
and a man wearing a cap stepped out staring intently at me.
They
I tried to
followed
act as
him?
if I didn't notice him, but when it got to the point where he was staring at me for at least 20 seconds straight, I had to look at him and ask him if there was a
What the
problem.
hell?
He finally turned away. The second I was done, I hopped back in the car and took off once more. We made it to her parents' house safely, and I don't believe we were followed. Now, I wouldn't have shared this story if it weren't for the fact that a few weeks later, I did some research and found out that a 33-year-old Indian man who worked at the gas station we had stopped at had been murdered and his body was stuffed in the woods behind the station.
No.
I immediately gave the police a tip about the guy who I saw at the station who was surely caught on camera.
Yo.
The following year on Thanksgiving, a similar murder happened at another gas station. We have since nicknamed him the Thanksgiving Killer. I fear only the worst once more this year, as he has still not been caught. Number 3.
He's still on the loose?
Walmart attracts the weirdest people. It was Black Friday, meaning me and my brothers were going video game shopping. Our first and only stop was Walmart. The place was absolutely mobbed, and being Walmart, it was mobbed with the wrong kinds of people. Gross, weird, and just creepy people everywhere trying to save a few bucks on already cheap products. We rode the escalators upstairs to the video game section. I was looking for the latest Call of Duty game personally, but my brothers were looking for some other game I don't remember. Then, out of nowhere, some creepy, heavy, oldish man who smelled like vomit walked up to me and said, "You like video games, huh?" Yeah.
Not with
I
you,
said.
bro.
I began to slowly slide away just to show that I wasn't interested in conversation. "My son likes video games too. Maybe you should come over and play some with him. He really craves company." The man gave me a creepy smile.
What?
"Oh, no, I'm not from around town, sorry." That's all I could think of saying. I didn't even give him a chance to keep this conversation going. Hell, I wasn't obligated to stand there and talk to this guy.
Yeah, freaking
I
creep.
simply gave him a smile and called my brother's name out while walking away just to seem distracted. I did a quick backwards glance. He was just staring at me as I walked away.
What's up with these
I made it to
freaking
the next
creepy
aisle over
people?
and immediately felt comfort in being next to my brothers. I waited around until they finally found their game and we headed over to the checkout counters. The lines were insane. I knew it would probably take 10 to 15 minutes just to make it to the counters, so I took that opportunity to check out some of the jeans and t-shirt sales. At one point, I found myself in probably the most secluded corner of the store checking out some t-shirts when someone grabbed my arm hard. I thought it was my brother messing with me, so I turned around and told him to fuck off. But it wasn't him. It was the man. I started calling for help, screaming that I didn't know this man. Some people came over and stared, but that was about it. The man let go and walked away. I don't know what he was thinking or planning on trying in such a public place.
What the hell?
I didn't tell my brothers what happened out of embarrassment, but they picked up on the fact that I was quiet afterwards. "It's nothing," I kept telling them. We got into my brother's Camaro, and when I sat down, I looked to the entrance of the Walmart. There he fucking was, sitting at the bench, facing me.
Yo!
As we were leaving the lot, we had to pass right in front of the store. I got one last look at the creepy man. His head moved ever so slightly to constantly face me, even through the car window at night. I gave him the finger, but it didn't seem to influence him in the slightest. That was the last I ever saw of him. Walmart attracts the weirdest people.
That's true.
Number 2. It was Black Friday 2013, and I decided to be one of those people who gets up at 3 a.m. to get some early deals. Home Depot was having crazy deals on artificial Christmas trees, so I wanted to get there early and buy one for my family. They opened their doors at 3 a.m. on the spot, 3 hours earlier than usual for Black Friday. Surprisingly, only me and one other guy were waiting to get in. I guess everyone else was at Best Buy or the mall.
Ha!
I found a nice 9-foot-tall artificial Christmas tree, originally for $200, but at that moment half off for only $100.
Wow.
I asked one of the few employees working at that hour to help me carry the box to the checkout and then to my car. The parking lot was still surprisingly empty for Black Friday. I figured maybe I didn't have to come so early. I tipped the guy and got in my car ready to leave when someone knocked on my window. I lowered the window, and some guy, mid-20s, beanie, black, and tall, leaned into my window asking if I had change. I opened the little compartment in between seats where I normally keep change, and it was actually empty.
Who the hell knocks on
I didn't
someone's
want to
door
have to hand
asking
him a
for
10,
change? Freaking
so I said,
bum.
"Nah, man, sorry." He looked disappointed, and I actually felt bad. He then asked me if I could give him a lift to the nearest gas station. I was a bit nervous about letting a stranger in my car, But
That's
guess
your
what?
first mistake
I
right
let him
there.
in.
You never give a
He did
stranger
not
a ride.
thank
I
me,
don't
which
care.
kind of hurt.
Sounds like
I
an
guess because I'm a
asshole, but
little
whatever.
sensitive. I asked him if he knew of any close-by gas stations. He just said, nah. A few seconds later, I asked him why he needed to go to a gas station.
He's gonna try to rob
And I
him.
swear to God, he didn't answer. It's not like he didn't hear me. He just flat out ignored me. I stopped looking at him at that point because I was feeling a bit uncomfortable now. I kept driving down main and side roads, but there was no goddamn gas stations anywhere. I was trying not to look in his direction, but I could tell he was staring at me. Every turn I made, every stop sign I stopped at, he was staring at me.
Oh,
I was
hell
sweating
no.
now. This guy was freaking me out. I felt like at any moment he could just grab my throat and I'd be done for.
He's either a killer or a
At
rapist.
last, I could see a gas station just beyond a light, which had just turned red. Why did it have to turn red just now? I thought to myself. I could still feel his stare, even as I looked the other way. I finally decided to sum up the balls and looked at him. I felt his cold, emotionless stare run straight through my eyes into my soul.
Oh, hell no.
Are you okay? I asked him. He ever so slightly nodded his head, almost not even noticeable. The light turned green, and I pulled into the gas station. He stepped out and stood by the sidewalk and watched me as I pulled away. When I got past the intersection, I laughed out of joy and the ridiculousness of the situation. But then I realized something. I patted myself down and then began to panic. I was missing something.
Wallet.
I was only a few blocks away, so I made a U-turn and headed back to the gas station. He was gone already. I drove home and confirmed that my phone was missing. I knew I had left it in the cup holder of my car.
Oh,
my phone
shit.
had all of my info on it.
Yo.
I contemplated calling the police, but I didn't. I couldn't even sleep that night in fear of some freak stranger having my address. The next night, after getting home from our 2-day delayed Thanksgiving dinner, I found my front door was open and my entire house was trashed.
What?
I called the police with my neighbor's phone. They didn't find him in there, but they found his prints everywhere. The only thing, the prints did not match anyone on record. Number 1.
That's
It was Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's fucked
I had
up.
half the family over, along with the next door neighbors, Tom and his wife. They don't have a big family,
Hell
so they
yeah.
used to come over to
Turkey
watch the
this
game with us on
afternoon.
Thanksgiving. After
For my
eating
fat
dinner,
ass.
we all sat in the living room to watch football, except for my daughters Tracy and Michelle, who aren't into football. At the time, Michelle was only 13 years old, and Tracy was 16. During halftime, I decided to go up to Michelle's room to get her to come down.
Damn, that's a feast.
She finally budged and came down to the living room. Me, Tom, and a few in-laws went outside to smoke. Me and Tom talked about his son, Sam. Apparently, Sam had gone back home to be alone and watch movies. He had been with us earlier. Tom joked that he was probably just watching porn, though. I laughed. I stared
Alright,
out
this
the one of the
music's
windows to my
creepy. It's just
house. The window to Michelle's room. There was someone looking
Sorry,
out the window.
I'm a little weird.
What the hell
think
was
I'm just
Michelle doing back
excited
in
for
her
turkey
room?
and pie.
I thought.
My
Then I
fat ass.
realized that wasn't Michelle. In fact, I didn't know who the hell that was. I excused myself from the group and stormed back inside and upstairs to Michelle's room. Michelle followed after she saw me enter her room.
Oh, hell no.
Did someone just come in here? I asked. No, why? I looked around the room. It was completely empty.
Oh,
I
no.
nudged Michelle to go back downstairs while I turned off the lamp. We went back to the living room where the game would be starting up momentarily. I finally decided to ask everyone if anyone had been in Michelle's room at her window. Everyone either said no or shook their heads no. Someone had to be lying.
Who the hell was it?
I heard a slight thud come from upstairs in Michelle's room. I ran back upstairs, again with Michelle following me. I flicked on the lights
Stay
in her
back
room
or
and
I'll
spun around
poke
in a
you.
circle looking for someone. The sliding closet door was cracked open. I just realized. I thought I could see something through the crack. I squinted my eyes to try and see what it was. It was an eye. I screamed like a child for maybe 2 seconds, followed by Michelle. Relatives ran up into the room as I angrily slid open the closet and pulled out Sam, Tom's son. Tom ran up and found me basically holding Sam by the neck. Sam was holding some belongings of my daughter that I'd rather not talk about. This incident definitely scarred, maybe even ruined my friendship with Tom and his wife, and it's made me that much more protective over my daughter.
Oh, yo, that's messed up. Ha! The gobble turkey sound. Well, alright guys, there was 4 freaky True Thanksgiving and Black Friday horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Like I said, guys, I'll have a link to original video down below. Once again, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. Well, by the time this video comes out, Thanksgiving will probably have already been pretty much done. But I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you ate a lot of turkey and pie and corn and whatever else your families make. But alright guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure and smack the like button and subscribe if you're new. But until next time guys, peace. Gobble gobble.